What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? We are live, baby, with our not our Tuffy Talk live show, but instead our Elite Eight celebration, baby. We are rolling and we're excited here this Saturday afternoon, and we wanted to get on with you all as kind of each one of us was kind of pulled in our own separate directions last night, and just unfortunately just could not make a live show happen. But we are finally here today, this afternoon, to talk about it. We're joined by myself, Layton Smith, Michael Tracy, and Brian Rosenthal, who you might say, well, wait, are we in Elite Eight for tennis? Well, we should be this year, but we're not there yet. But Brian actually messaged me right before the live show. I was like, hey, you mind if I come on and talk some NC State real quick? I was like, sure, why not? So just like Brian, any questions, thoughts, comments that you guys have, as always, put them in the description, and we'll get to as many of them as we can here today. But with that being said, we are rolling. We are excited. We are in the Elite Eight, men's and women's basketball, which is crazy, and I still can't even wrap my head around it, honestly, that thinking about where we were this time last year for women's, thinking about us losing in the first round, just blowing another lead and just being frustrated about the future of the NC State women's basketball program, being like, is this something that we could turn around from? Was that a one-time issue? And then for men's basketball, I mean, we were tied with Louisville, around halftime in the opening round of the ACC tournament. And
we're down
by one. That's right. And just like going, oh my gosh. And here we are 8 wins later in the Elite Eight versus the Duke Blue Devils. It is an unbelievable thing. Brian, I know that, I won't necessarily guess your age, but I would guess more likely a year older, a little bit, older, a year or two older than Michael and myself. So, I mean, talk to me in terms of, just, has it even hit you yet in terms of, just both teams in the Elite Eight, man? It's unbelievable.
I think I could be your father, both of you guys. So yes, I am a year or two older than you. I'm just pushing here close to 45. But yeah, I mean, listen, I've been around for a while, and I haven't seen an Elite Eight. Obviously, I was born in 1980, but I was not in the capacity of knowing what's going on in 1986, and certainly not in 83. And I grew up in Florida, so, didn't have a pulse on what's going on at NC State, but it's been a really special run. We were 5.5 feet underground going into the ACC tournament. Season was done. No NIT bid. And here we are today in this scenario where, the continuing narrative is why not us? And it's exactly how it should be. Marquette's guard play, probably the best backcourt in the country behind Cam Jones and Kolek. And, it was tough to contain Kolek, but we did a heck of a job with Jones and their other players. And, I think Duke's trio of guards is going to be quite difficult, to overcome. But again, I don't see why we can't get through this game. And, I had the privilege to drive up to D.C. with one of my neighbors who's a Carolina guy. He forced me. He's like, we're going to the Final Four of the ACC. He was, I'm pulling hard for you guys. Let's see it unfold. And what a spectacle to be at, beating UVA. So it was a great time. I'm so excited for it. If we win tomorrow evening, I'll probably join brother Chung Yi. Shout out to him as one of the greatest.
Hey.
Chung and I went to college together. He's 2 years older than me. And of course, Greg, who's, obviously going to be there tomorrow night with Chung. And I can't wait. I mean, it's so exciting. A little nervous, not going to lie. I was pacing. I hosted a party last night at my house, guys. And I sat down for 40 seconds. It was really, really tough to get through these games. You guys know that. And, I got about 20 years on you. So, it's awesome. I mean, we deserve this. It's a long time coming. It's a great fan base, and let's do it again.
Amen. Macon, what up, man? Where are you at, bud?
Out in the wild.
I'm in King George, Virginia, Port Royal, Virginia, with my in-laws right now for Easter.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Yeah. Beautiful view behind you, bud. Yeah,
that's just they're building a house back over here. But yeah, man. We're in the Elite Eight, man. It's amazing. I can't believe it, dude. I am. So my situation was I was driving up from High Point to King George, which is basically east of Fredericksburg, and we were looking at. I was basically driving about 5 o'clock, 5:30. It's about a 4.5 hour drive, and so obviously that would overlap with the game. So we had like the Kindle pad thing going with from the hotspot, trying to I'm driving. I'm not going to condone anything of my actions, but I'm trying to drive and kind of get quick glances over it. I'm listening more than I'm looking at it. Dude, I just can't believe it. I know they've talked about how Marquette missed a lot of shots, and they did. They were 4 for 31 from three. I think that's 12%. That's a huge reason they lost the game, right? But, I mean, I thought State defended very well. I think, Michael, you pointed out that with the adjusted defensive matrix, NC State is third nationally right now. And that's just crazy. I mean, like, it's to me, that is the number one reason why State's in the position where they're in. I think it's a lot of other things too, like the offensive play of Diarra, but particularly Michael O'Connell and Ben Middlebrooks. We've already talked about that, but I thought State defended them very well. I thought they let Kolick got his, but some of these runs you need some help, right? And them missing shots is help, right? I mean, that I thought they played well. I thought the first half was what won the game for them, and I thought just kind of milking it out a little bit in the second half was enough. I thought Marquette really adjusted their defense well in the second half, and I thought they played much better ball pressure. I thought State played too much one-on-one basketball in the second half, and that got it down to 6 or 5, however close it got. But, man, clutch shots again from Michael O'Connell. That three with about a minute and a half left. Even before then, DJ Horn had that three with the crossover, buzzer beater. He had the Ben Middlebrooks had that hard screen, and he drained the three. Mm-hmm. Those are some big-time clutch shots because particularly the Michael O'Connell one. I think that put us up 4 possessions. I think he wanted to put us up 11. To me, when that shot went in, I thought, man, it's like a minute and a half, 4 possessions. I don't know. The way we play, we are both in the bonus at that point. I think they may have been the double bonus. I really thought that was when it was. And then about 30 seconds left, they had a couple of shots that didn't fall, and you could see them kind of backing off. And I was like, is this real? Is this really happening right now? I called my dad, my brother. My brother has not been to the bell tower. He just graduated last year. And he hasn't been to the bell tower and any of these, and he was in Cary. He's like, I'm going there right now. I can't not go right now. And so I just can't believe it, man. It's hard to put into words. It's special. It makes you even emotional at times thinking about it because as State fans, we haven't seen it ever happen. So it's the closest thing that I've heard of stories of NC State in 1983, and this is the closest thing that I may ever feel to that. But this is just special, man. And they're not done. I mean, I saw ESPN or somebody redid the the seeding as it is right now, and they put State as a 4 seed ahead of a team like Duke, who I think they had at 6. So I'll have to go find that. Maybe we can post that later somewhere. But
and Macon, I mean, like the biggest thing I would say, and the craziest thing is that I think that NC State. I mean, DJ Burns, he only shot the ball 4 times, had 4 points on the game.
Different ways to win.
Exactly. That's the thing that I think that makes NC State so dangerous is they've shown multiple ways they can win. They can beat you through DJ Burns. They can beat you down low. They can make shots from the outside. They have multiple guys that can get involved with us. Casey Morcell, Ben Middlebrooks, DJ Horn, Michael O'Connell, Burns, Diarra, you name it. I mean, Diarra once again had 15 rebounds last night. Like, oh my gosh. So, I mean, it's crazy.
8 games Diarra has had. I saw the Stat Pack Pride posted 8 games. 85 points, 100 rebounds. That is bananas. So, I can't stay much longer, guys. But just probably what you said, Leighton. They're finding different ways to win, and they still haven't had a game where they put it all together, right? I mean, if you had asked Marquette, or told State fans, Burns only get 4 points, and I thought
turnovers.
Yeah, I thought the State's going to lose that game. But they held Marquette to under 60 points.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, it's just different ways to win. So it almost makes me feel like, and I told my buddies this, I said, knock on wood, and that's a big tree right there. Maybe I'll knock on that. But I thought if they could somehow get past this Marquette game, I felt like they had a good chance the next game. And again, knowing they haven't put it all together, maybe this is it. Maybe this is the next game is the one. I don't know, but they're still finding ways to win, and they're not playing perfect, really their best basketball. That's really encouraging as a state fan to me. So, but anyways, I gotta go, guys. I'm so pumped. I've already got my tickets reserved, and when we get there to Final Four. So, but yeah, it's awesome, guys. Enjoy it. I hope the show is good. I'll see y'all later.
See you, bud. Yeah, Brian. I mean, Michael, it's a crazy time, and it's. Go ahead, Michael. Please give us your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I want to say that I tweeted this out before when they announced the times for the women's game, but man, we really got robbed with having both games at the same time. Like,
oh yeah,
it's great we both won, but it was like you didn't get to enjoy each one. It was like cool. It was like I think the men's game ended up first, and then there's like 2 or 3 minutes left in the women's game, so that was cool to just flip right over and see that them also win. But it was like you didn't get to enjoy each for what they were. But still, I mean, it's been crazy, man, and the defense has just been phenomenal. And I did not expect that kind of performance against Marquette. We talked about it last week, and I was like, I was pretty worried about Kolek and their guards. And he was pretty much as good as advertised, but it was like the guys around him, his teammates, really didn't help him out much.
No,
I think he only had 3 assists, and which was a season low, and he was leading the country, I think, with like 8 or 9 assists per game, and he only had 3 last night. So, this run, it starts with the defense, and that's what's held up. And like we said, DJ Burns with 4 points. That's how you win the game is just making up for it with stellar defense.
Well, and I mean, DJ Burns was your leading passer last night. He had 7 assists last night.
So, right. It's not like he wasn't effective. Yeah, and that's why he's so dangerous, because a game where you can shut him down scoring wise, he's just as good of a passer. I mean, 7 assists from a center is crazy.
That's really crazy. And Brian too. I mean, and I kind of tweeted out because I felt like that a lot of NC State women's basketball fans out there last night maybe felt a little bit slighted, and that's why I kind of felt called to put that tweet out today, being like, I feel like that, people don't really understand the historical significance of the 2 accomplishments individually. Right. Everything was just kind of just built on each other from last night, and it just all became one celebration, when ideally the celebration we had last night should have been one for each of the accomplishments individually. I mean, just like I was saying, 2 years ago in 2022, when NC State women's basketball made it to the Elite 8, I mean, State fans were losing their minds, and rightfully so, because that was only our second Elite 8 in program history. And now this is our third. And I would honestly say this run is more impressive than the 2022 run, because this is a team that I would say, I mean, if you were to ask me which team would I rather have, I mean, I'd rather have the team with Lisa Kunane and one of the best centers, one of the best point guards in my opinion in state history, and Reina Perez. But I mean, this team has come back and has really proved the doubters wrong. Made it to a ACC conference title game, and now has gone to the Elite 8 and beat Tennessee, a very strong, a very pissed off Tennessee team. And then a Stanford team that a lot of people had upsetting Texas to go to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's an impressive run so far by women's basketball.
Let me say this about the NCAA. I really feel like they're making a mistake for years and years to keep these 2 tournaments going on at the same time. It's just like you feel like you could start the season earlier for women's hoops, perhaps, and let them get their attention by starting their March tournament run, maybe the last week of February. So all the attention goes to them, and then we move on to the men's tournament. And it's I just think that there's no way they're going to compete. I'm not trying to, say anything in a sexist or equality matter. I mean, it just is what it is. And I think that the Wolfpack women last night were robbed of the attention that they deserve. And I think the only way to do that is to somehow make sure that the women's tournament is placed on, is showcased at some point earlier. They're probably not going to take my advice, because it's hard to take that serious, but I don't know how you do it without separating the 2 tournaments. And we're probably going to be in the same situation coming up tonight with a couple of these women's games versus what's about to transpire with Alabama, Clemson, and UConn and Illinois. Let me just say this before I have to go. First of all, thanks for letting me come on. There's a big storyline that nobody's talking about. If we emerge and Tennessee emerges, we have a point guard on the bench for Tennessee that was my point guard when I was at NC State. That's Justin Gainey. So Justin Gainey versus NC State in the Elite Eight would be a tremendous storyline. And I honestly was thinking that there was a possibility we would see Justin Gainey in Raleigh after what we can say is a disastrous season leading up to the ACC tournament. The natural fit, right? Archie Miller was in the talks leading up to the Kevin Keats hire. That did not unfold. And now you have a guy that has been Rick Barnes' number one for several years and, has celebrated some success, SEC regular season champions this year. And they're playing great ball, and it's going to be a tough task to go against Edey because they don't have a big to defend Edey, but they have the guard play to beat Purdue. And then my other point is, listen, Duke plays 7 players, and we are probably the only other team that plays 7 players in the tournament. So we're kind of lucky that we're not playing a deep team like Purdue tomorrow night. Purdue will play 8.5 to 9.5 guys on average, and so does Tennessee. So it's good. That means we have a lot more rest when we play either one of them if we can get through Duke, 6 nights from now. But to play Tennessee or Purdue tomorrow with our 7, I think would be super challenging. But if you look at the Duke box scores, there's not an 8th guy with a point that played for Duke last night. They don't have a big bench like your father's Duke teams would have had. So I think we have a good chance. Really shocked that the books have us as a touchdown underdog. I would have made that maybe 4.5. But again, just another opportunity for bulletin board material for Coach Keats, because we ran him out in DC. I don't know. Again, I just feel like this is a team that is getting not enough respect. And as a 6.5, 7 point underdog, I think it's going to be telling to see what we can do tomorrow night, regardless of what happens. It's been a really fun run. I appreciate what all you guys do because, you guys are taking this generation to the next level on social media and giving the young and the old an opportunity to be simpatico together. And it's been really fun. I'm going to bow out because this is your show. I appreciate you letting me chime in here for 10 minutes. And go Pack, and I hope to see people watching this perhaps in the desert on Saturday night, because I'm already gonna be out there for vacation close by in Los Angeles. So I will flight from LAX to RDU on Saturday morning to LAX to PHX, and that's already a done deal. I've already told my wife; she's on board with it. So I'll be out there, and I'll try to find whoever I can. Brother Yee, hook me up, brother. Yee. Tickets, man. So, gentlemen and ladies, have a great day. Thanks for having me.
And Brian, we'll have you back on maybe before the tennis postseason, man. We definitely have men's and women's tennis to talk about. So.
Yeah. Tennis, the regular season will conclude here in maybe 3 weeks from now. So NC State men's tennis alumni weekend. We get Carolina that weekend, so we're gonna have a good time together as an alumni of men's tennis coming up in late April. So it should be a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome. Appreciate you, Brian. Be good, man. We'll talk soon.
You too, guys.
All right, Kens, what up? Do you look like you finally made it to Dallas?
Yeah, I'm so freaking tired.
You there?
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Did you go by yourself or are you there with somebody else?
I didn't let my mom come. She's bad luck.
Ah.
I am by myself. She is far away from here.
That's funny. I love it. Yeah. So Kens, what's your thoughts? Give us your initial thoughts here. Men's, women's, whatever you want.
How about both? And baseball, honestly. The guys last night absolutely killed it. I was expecting it to be another Virginia game where we were having a heart attack until like the last few seconds, but they really just took the lead and never gave it back. So every game, it seems like our guys get more and more together and just play better each time. And so I really don't think – we've split with Duke, but with this energy coming into this game, I really don't see Duke beating the guys tomorrow night. I really don't. I hope not, especially because that would have been a freaking ridiculous fight if we do lose. But in our women's, like that was the first third quarter that I've been impressed with all season long.
28 to 10 third quarter.
Yeah. I was fully expecting at halftime to be like, all right, we're going to go down more in the third quarter. That's just not our quarter. And in the fourth, we'll probably get some back. But I looked up and saw that we were only down by 3 with like 3 minutes to go in the third. So, I mean, both of these teams are doing incredible. Like they're finding the pieces they need. They're working together. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously the big thing that happened last night during the Duke game was Houston's star point guard. It was a Sheed. Jamal Sheed got injured.
Shed. I think it's Shed. Yeah.
Shed got injured.
So that hurt big time.
So because I mean Houston was up by double digits, and then once that happened, then I think Duke was able to pull it back in, which made a huge difference. But yeah, I mean, so that's why to me I kind of put a little bit of an asterisk. I mean, then hey, win's a win. Congrats to Duke, they got it done. But I mean, I'm sitting here saying, I mean, I'm there's nothing about Duke that necessarily scares me right now. Now again, I'm still saying that, still just saying like, I'm not saying we need to go in there like we have to win, but more of that I'm expecting to win, and I think we can win. But just like Brian was saying, I still have to remind everybody once again, though, to bring it back down to earth. Just reminder, reality-wise, at the end of the day, we are playing with the house's mansion, not the house's money. We're playing the house's mansion. If we lose, you know what? I can sleep perfectly fine at night knowing that I came out here with an ACC championship and Elite Eight appearance.
I can't. I don't think I'll ever be able to handle losing again. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, no. Again, I mean, I'm not going to be necessarily happy, but I can live with it.
No.
I can live with it.
I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, it will make it a little bit tougher, though, that it's Duke,
Well, and honestly, for me, let me tell you this right now. Like Brian kind of mentioned it. Not looking necessarily too far ahead, but I mean, I think we can all assume that if we find a way to make it to the Final Four, you're going to see Purdue when you get there, and
probably, that's what happens. Every team's great at the end of once you get to the end of the tournament. So
that's right. So it is what it is. But I mean, gotta give you
gotta beat the best.
That's right. That's right. But got to give a huge shout out, man. I mean, just like you were saying, Kens, I mean, they really controlled this game. I mean, it was pretty much a 9, probably 8 to 12, even sometimes 15-point lead pretty much the entire game. I mean, Marquette came off a little bit strong there to beginning, but then we grabbed momentum and we really ran with it the entire time. Like, it really just kind of just honestly just frustrates the hell out of me, being like, where has half of this been the entire season? Where has 25 of this, 25% of this been?
I'd rather be, like everybody says, I'd rather play my best basketball in March.
Oh, of course. No, I know.
Or we could be at Carolina and win the regular season, whoop-de-doo, and then be sitting at home on the couch.
Do nothing.
But Kens, if we played half this good the regular season, we would have been, top 4 in the ACC easily. Like, it's just, that's the thing. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to cry for spilled milk. It is what it is, I mean,
I'm natty either way.
I'm thrilled. Whatever. I just wish we didn't have to go through all that, I mean, right. to be here,
but I get it, but at the same time, it does make it a little bit sweeter that it's like, it was not expected whatsoever. Right?
Like, you go in. Like, this generation, and like y'all too, are living through how 83 felt.
Oh, this is 100%.
And that's like an awesome feeling because my grandma talks about it all the time. And I'm like, I've always said, I want to experience that feeling. Like, I want to know how that feels. And like, we're literally what we're going through right now. And that's crazy to think about. Like, all the connections that they have. Like, tomorrow, the high in Dallas is supposed to be 83 degrees.
That's a lot.
So,
that's crazy.
I'm using it. I'm taking that as a sign.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean, this is really 1983 reincarnated, like to the T right now, which is, kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, I mean, had to win 5 games in a row, but we actually had to win the AC tournament to actually make the NCAA tournament, which again, Tim Peeler has come out and fully said that 83 having to win the AC championship is actually not true. That once they beat UNC in the semifinals, that they had gotten at least now a large bid in the NCAA tournament. So, but then again, Texas Tech. We were underdogs, 4.5 point underdogs to Texas Tech, and then who do we play next? I totally forgot. Honestly,
Oakland.
Who do we play? Oakland, Oakland. Yeah, thank you. Oakland, who everybody was going ahead and crowning as the Cinderella team for the NCAA tournament, and was coming off with a lot of swagger off of beating a Kentucky team, and then having to beat Marquette, who has been a perennial all season top 10 team in the country. And we were 7.5 point underdog. So, and we controlled them the entire time. We beat them by 9 points. Last thing, we didn't beat them by 1, not 2 possessions.
It wasn't. I wasn't at the end of the game. We weren't all freaking out. It was like, okay, with 3 minutes to go, we're like, we won this game.
Just don't blow it. Yeah,
we're like, don't beat yourself, and we have this in the back.
Yeah, and so again, so kind of looking at what's next again with Duke. First of all, like we were saying, it's going to be a challenge. I think Duke is going to come out hungry and excited, but I think that the way that Keats was able to get these guys ready for this game, being that it was such a huge stage, as you think sometimes with teams that they get to, a certain level where, the lights are shining a little bit brighter, the floor is a little bit hotter, just because, there's a lot on the line. And so some teams rise up to the occasion, some don't. And this is a team that rose up to the occasion against Marquette. So I'm looking at saying if they could do that against Marquette, I feel pretty good about them doing it against Duke as well.
Not to be rude or anything, but I'm actually glad we're playing Duke because it would have been basically a home game for Houston.
Right.
And I didn't want that environment. I want to have, and Duke fans don't really travel that well. They just don't. So I feel like tomorrow's definitely going to be, we're finally going to have the more fans in the house.
And you're going to get all those Houston fans that Duke beat that's going to be cheering for State because they don't want Duke to win.
And it's and we're America's team. Everybody said that. America's team is America's hated. So the only people pulling for Duke are Duke fans.
Oh, there's no doubt. Dude, I've never, and because maybe this is kind of, I just never really paid as much in touch with it as I have in previous years, but I have a hard time believing that there's been this much national support for a Cinderella team that NC State's had this year.
We got to put a lot of thanks to DJ for that.
DJ, but also
personality.
But also too, typically Cinderella teams is more for your lower level schools that pulls off these upsets.
Louisville, Chicago, those teams. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but
Mason, BCU, those guys. Yeah.
Exactly. But people have seen on ESPN what we have done in the ACC tournament. They've been following us from the conference tournament stage. So, they've said it all along, and they've been recognizing it all along. So then once we beat, these teams to make it to the Sweet 16, then it was like, hey, look at that. But definitely DJ Burns deserves a lot of respect for that for sure. But again, I love DJ Burns, but I got to give a shout out to everybody, man. Every single player on this team. Casey Morsell stepped up.
Casey Morsell balled out last night. That had to be his best game of the season. I just saw him in the lobby, by the way.
There you go. Yeah, no, 7 for 12 from the field. 2 rebounds, 2 steals. 4 fouls. I love it. No,
he was really good. He was good on Kolek too.
He was, yeah. No, it's
his defense. This tournament is unreal. I think that if we can just lock down Roach and forgot his name, the dude that paints his fingernails, McCain. Yeah, McCain will be good.
Yeah. No, because that's the thing is that you basically have the blueprint left over from what you did 2 weeks ago. Just go in with the
do exactly that. Get Filipowski fouled out. Do exactly that.
Yeah. At the same time, they Duke has a blueprint for how they beat us earlier in the season too. So it's like, who's gonna make the right adjustments there? So
we'll see.
It's our turn. That's what I say. I say let us have it. Honestly,
I think so.
Yeah.
We've waited long enough.
And then real quickly too, I got to give a shout out on the women's side, specifically to Zia James. Holy crap, she was like
logo 3.
I have said for a long time, I said a while ago that there's not a more underrated, disrespected player in women's college basketball than Zia James. People are like, well, she's first team all ACC. Like, how is she disrespecting? I'm like, because she should be a top 10. She should be considered a top 10 basketball player in women's college basketball.
I was fully expecting her for when ESPN put the top 10 girls left in the tournament. She wasn't even on it. And it's I don't understand it.
No. Yeah. I mean, look, 8 for 14 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 10 for 11 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers, 29 points, just an absolute masterclass.
When she gets hot, it's kind of like saying with DJ Horn. When they get hot, it's automatic. They're not going to miss. That's just how it is. And Sanaya played good. They all played good yesterday. I'm glad that Stanford girl fouled out. He was scaring me a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
he was a very harsh human. Did not like her.
Yeah, no. More. I think she had like 5 blocks or something like that.
And didn't even jump. Just
my
girl was right at the basket. She was.
I mean, she averages almost 12 rebounds a game. So that's pretty crazy for women's basketball. But yeah, I mean, Zoe Brooks. 6 for 14 from the field, 12 points. 2 assists, 3 rebounds. I mean, for a freshman, super impressive there. Sanaya Rivers, like you were saying, 4 for 12 from the field, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 13 points, 7.
Oh no.
Lost him. You there?
Yeah, my fault. Internet skipped out. But Michael, yeah. So thoughts versus Texas. What's your feelings? Feeling good about it?
Yeah. I think it's hard not to right now. I mean, and I think we talked about it when the bracket came out. Texas is probably the lowest ranked 1 seed. So in that aspect, it's probably the best matchup you could get versus any of the 1 seeds. So I mean, the tournament for the women was always going to come down to the guards between Sanaya and Isaiah, and they've just been as good as they can be. And if they continue to be as good as they have been this week, I don't see us losing.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, for me, the biggest thing, which I just have to remind everybody once again, which is, again, this is kind of still far-fetched, but I mean, the biggest thing that excites me the most is basically this entire backcourt that we're looking at right now is going to be coming back next season. Like that. That's still the thing that honestly excites me. Because I mean, I'm not, I'm just not necessarily sold on how realistic the chances are of winning a national championship this year. But I think next year, though, we're lining up beautifully for a national championship run. Not to say so we can't make a run, but putting us against South Carolina.
We would have to get past South Carolina Final Four. So
they've gotten scared. They
should have
lost the other night. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know either. We'll see. But I mean, if we're going to do that, then Mimi Collins and River need to get more involved, which I know that as yesterday, they weren't necessarily needed to get involved. And also too, because Stanford has 2 really strong forwards in Irfan and Brink. But again, very, very far-sighted. But yeah, I mean, in regards to Texas, I haven't seen anything in terms of the line. Have you seen anything in terms of a Vegas line for that game at all, Michael, yet?
I haven't. Let me see if it's updated yet.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say more likely that they're going to be favored, and that's okay.
Texas 5.5.
5.5. Okay, that's not as much. Well, and the interesting thing is actually opened at NC State +7, and it moved down immediately to about 5.5. So that's interesting.
South Carolina favored by 15.5. That's crazy in Elite 8.
I know.
That's insane.
I know. That is crazy. But so just take care of business. Just do our thing. Isaiah, find your shot. Sanaya, go to the basket. Madison Hayes, give me some more threes. She only shot the 3-pointer 3 times, which I feel like Madison Hayes being a 40% 3-point shooter. We need to get her shooting more 3 balls, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, yesterday the formula worked out perfectly to go on a 28-10 run in the third quarter. Which again, I got to give a huge shout out to Westmore and the coaching staff on that, as obviously the second half, locker room talk worked. So
Yeah, Wes
awesome.
even said, he was like, it got to the point where we were just like, give it to Zaza.
Yeah.
That's what they just kept doing.
You got to. If the girl's hot, let her eat. So it's that simple. But anyway, y'all, and then the last thing which I wanted to mention, and this is more, I guess something which more go alongs with our
really grinds my gears.
Classic. What really grinds my gears. And I just want to just say this is there's one tweet in particular of ours that's getting a lot of interest as of recently, has now over 120,000 impressions on Twitter, and that is ours calling out UNC, and so I just wanted to kind of also to kind of by wrapping this up, kind of make this pitch as well. That first of all, I've always said I always have wanted the NC State UNC rivalry to be a more respected rivalry by UNC fans on a national perspective. I think that the NC State UNC rivalry can be right up there as one of the biggest rivalries in college sports, period. And so more of my focus right now on UNC is more of just to remind UNC fans that, hey, just a heads up, maybe you should respect us more a little bit. There's a couple of, like there was one tweet in particular that said, well, when we went to our NCAA championship run 2022, I didn't think one time about NC State. And I'm like, well, that's my point, is that, like, can it not be a little bit more both ways? Like, when are we going to eventually finally graduate from the little brother?
There's such pick-me's. Like, you're out. Take a seat, watch the game with everybody else. Just shut up. Like,
well,
honestly,
I'll be able to go back to that, Ken, saying I'm the one that brought it up, and
stay off of our pages. You don't like us. Why are you on our Twitter? Well, you don't have to comment. We didn't invite you to comment. Yeah. I get bullied by them on a daily basis.
Yeah. If no one interacts with those tweets, then they won't be sent. But
But also too, on the other side, I'm saying, they always say there's no such thing as bad publicity. So at the end of the day, if UNC fans are talking about it, then hey, I'm not going to argue about it. But also too, for the fans saying like why can't we focus on us? I'm sitting here saying, well, first of all, I put out probably 15 tweets yesterday. One or two of them was about UNC. Like, I'm not sitting here like focusing on UNC in any way. Like, it's just hey, just something to think about. The fact that with your ACC Player of the Year and with your what you regard as one of the greatest centers in UNC basketball history, you guys have those two guys have 0 postseason conference championships. We have one now. We made it further than us, and Duke made it further than you in the NCAA tournament. And Clemson, while you're sitting at home. So
last year too.
I'm just sitting here saying, 2
years in a row.
And the other point, which I'll make even as well, is I love the fact that UNC immediately goes to,
the difference in championships.
Well, focusing on basketball specifically.
Yes. Like literally name any other sport and tell me when's the last time you beat us. Please.
And that's more of my thought as well is that that every other sport, we got you right now. We got you in football. We got you women's basketball. We got you in wrestling. We got you in gymnastics. We got you almost everywhere that we have a team. Yes, field hockey, you got it, but we don't have a field hockey team. So
congrats.
It is what it is. But your crown jewel, your one thing that you always say, like at the end of the day, I can come right back to this circle of men's basketball. I'm not saying we are better than you guys now in terms of program or whatever, but I'm saying we're right there.
The tide is turning. Yep.
The tide is turning. We are not that easy win. We are not that team that has gone 8 and 44 over the last 52 games versus UNC. Like, we are a program that I think now off of this, we're going to continue to take these next steps. DJ Burns specifically. Look at the deals he's getting with Adidas, with TurboTax. With Barstool.
On a TurboTax commercial.
The TurboTax.
Yeah. like how much money this guy's making? Like there's no doubt that recruits, that transfers are going to see that.
Yeah. And go, like the little brother thing has got to go, because I feel like it needed to be shut down when we beat them in the ACC championship. Like, there's no, if you can't, this is the only sport you beat us in, and you didn't. You beat us in the regular season. Congratulations, you got that trophy. But I'd much rather have a championship trophy than a regular season.
One game. One game.
I'm like, I really don't understand it. I think that just the little brother is BS.
So all my point is not that it should go away, but more of that, hey, maybe it's something that needs to be thought about, discussed a little bit, maybe changed.
We're definitely the favorite child.
And it won't be. It won't be, but that's just how it works.
That's right. Nope. And hey, so in the meantime, if it's not going to change anything, worse comes worse, it's going to push a little bit of buttons, and and I'll take it.
Oh, I love making them mad. It's so fun for me. Me and Michael.
It's not personal. It's not personal.
Off of Mad Carolina fans.
Yeah,
I could do it every single day, but I can't bring myself. I can't do that.
I literally got off the flight, turned my airplane mode off, and I had 20 notifications from Carolina fans. And I'm like, what in the world? And I was like, let's go see this. Let's go see this entertainment that I just landed into.
Yeah.
And it's so much better when we actually have something to back it up.
Right? They're just trying so hard to be relevant right now. They're trying so hard to stay in the conversation. And it's just that Duke page tweeted in the ACC championship. Let us have it. Shut up. Leave us alone. Let us be happy. This doesn't happen.
Well, and don't worry, NC State fans, or people listening in. I promise you that unless we win a national championship, I will not bring up UNC. If we beat Duke, I will not bring up UNC. I promise you. As again, I mean that's nothing to really kind of add to my point. But winning it, if we won a national championship, that would add to my.
Every Carolina fan is going to block me. I'm going to be so insane.
Oh man!
Especially after we don't care about ACC championships. We
just that was gold.
And that's the other thing too, is that bugs me, is that there's an arrogance that I'm not really feeling bad about shoving it right back a little bit, being well, we don't need AC championship, we got a national championship to play for, and then the comments
farther than them.
And if we win it, then be like, well, we got both. So what do you have to say now?
Well, and again, the comments from Baycott saying, the ACC runs through me, like Burns, those guys, they're playing confidently, but they're not playing arrogant. They know that we're not respected, and that's okay. They're not gonna say anything against it.
That was literally DJ Burns' comment. He could be so cocky right now if he wanted to be, and that's what I love. His post game conference yesterday, or one of his quotes, he said that we constantly get disrespected, and he said we're just trying to crash the party, and we're going to continue to try to crash the party.
Here we go.
I love it.
Let's do it.
I love that energy.
Yeah. Well, Wolfpack Nation, tomorrow afternoon we got NC State women's basketball at 3:00 versus Texas, and then we got at 5:00 NC State versus Duke, both in the Elite Eight. Make sure, Wolfpack Nation, we just hit that 9,200 subscriber mark, y'all. So 800 more subscribers to 10,000. So if you haven't already,
spring game.
Next a week from today, actually.
Y'all better start following if y'all want to win an ACC championship in football. We got to get to 10,000.
I love it.
Playing in the Final Four on the same day as the spring game, though.
I know. We might have to. I don't know how football would do that, but yeah, that would be.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, I mean, we're all in on Final Four.
I don't know if y'all mentioned before I got on here, seeing that video of the football team watching it. I mean,
that was cool.
I love seeing that.
That was awesome.
The way 100%. These teams just support each other is crazy. You don't see that in a lot of schools.
Absolutely. All right, Wolfpack Nation, thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all jumping in on this discussion. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope y'all are excited. And again, just taking this in. Just take it in, enjoy it, and let's hopefully have another celebration tomorrow evening once we have a berth in the Final Four, baby, which is crazy to think about. But here we go, y'all.
This is insane.
Let's see what we can do. We'll see y'all soon, and go Pack, baby. Beat Duke.